Greetings from Shanghai. I'm John D. Van Fleet, Senior Advisor for the Antai Global Summer Program. This program is in its third year now, and I'm honored to work with the Antai College of Management, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, on such a great program. The program basically has four components. The first one is actual academic lectures, of course. We also feature cultural interactions. So, for example, our students have dining experiences in Chinese cuisine. Third, we expose our students to corporate understanding by putting senior leaders from businesses in the region in dialogue with them. And finally, we have language lessons. The program director and I work closely on creating a program that is locally relevant, deeply informed about Chinese business and culture, but also has a great global perspective. And we're confident that you can't find this kind of a program outside of China. You need to be here. First, I'd like to introduce Mr. Graham Earnshaw. Earnshaw is originally from the UK, but he's been here 35 years, so he's seen the entirety of what China calls its reform and opening up period. Earnshaw is an expert on China and the Chinese economy in particular. He shares that expertise in a way that helps foreigners understand what they need and want to know about this place, because he himself, of course, is a foreigner.
China undoubtedly will play an absolutely crucial role in the future of the world, in the world economy, world culture, in every way possible. And you cannot grasp the importance of it or grasp the nuances of a culture through Facebook or online or Twitter or any other online way, through your screen. We've all got screens, but you have to interface with certain things in real life, not through a screen. And to understand the true significance of China and what's going on here, you have to come here. You have to speak to Chinese people. You have to walk around the streets. You have to have a gut instinctive feel for what China is all about. Otherwise, you are going to make mistakes. You're going to make wrong decisions. And come to China and see for yourself. That is the safest thing for anybody who is looking for a future in the world today to do.
They pushed you out, I knew that they would. Never really a doubt, but it's all for the good. You get so far, then you hit a brick wall. Listen, you're a star, it doesn't matter at all. Thinking it through, the joke's on them. You did good, without you mayhem. You can't stop a fool from screwing it up. Don't lose your cool, just focus on the follow-up. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. Always a way.
Next, I'd like to introduce Professor Baiju Chen. Professor Chen is on faculty at the USC Marshall School of Business. He's also born and raised right here in Shanghai. He went through his undergraduate years here. Professor Chen is academic director of a joint venture EMBA program between USC Marshall and the Antai College. Plus, he has lots of consulting and advising roles here, so he's here a lot. And therefore, he's an ideal choice to help our students in the summer program understand more about China.
In those days, I was living in Shanghai at the time, 1978. I think I was in high school. 1970, I was in high school. And my mother was a doctor, medical doctor. My father was astrophysicist. Highly educated. You thought, geez, your parents must be rich, wealthy. No, my parents are very poor. We live in an apartment, 8 square meters. 8 square meters. 3 of us. All right, my parents, me, and later I have a sister later. At the time, I think I have a sister at the time. Yes, I did have a sister, but my sister was not living with us. My sister was with my grandmother. So of us, 8 square meter, and we have 3 families on shares one kitchen, and we don't have air conditioning, no hot water, no bathtub, no gas stove, no toilet. Well, there's a toilet. There's a toilet, and the toilet was shared.
The personal touch is the most powerful lecture you could ever deliver, because it's so personal that everyone can relate it to this, and also the story that my generation experienced and some of the young generation they never experienced. So it will be interesting for them to hear from a person living through that experience. China has come a long way and has changed tremendously in the last 30 years. So it's great to share my experience with them, so that to have a feeling and all understand where China coming from to this point.
Professor Chen has written a business case about Sui Jinfang, a 600-year-old famous Chinese brand of what's known locally as baijiu, a distilled high-strength liquor. He leads our summer program students through the case, which illustrates some fundamental aspects of China's business environment today.
Anyone? Huh? Swell Fun? No? Which company owns this brand? Yes, Guinness. What else? Johnny Walker. Smirnoff. Vodka. Who owns this? Diageo. Diageo bought a company, and Diageo is the largest alcohol company in the world. They want to have a whole spectrum of the product. The one they think they're missing is the baijiu, because this is, China is a huge baijiu place. And so they want to own it, so they bought it, right? And so when they purchased the company, they brought in a CEO, Jim Rice, an American, a Californian, to run the company. So what kind of challenge he stepped into the CEO position, he find out? I'm sorry?
Not a diversified brand.
Is it what? Is it?
They haven't got a diversified portfolio of brands.
Okay, so the brand is damaged. The brand, there's not much investment in it, so that it's being squeezed by the top guys. There's a big 5, so it is one of the super premium brand. It's expensive, but there's other even more super premium brand and pushing down, and there is underneath, there is a lot of those cheaper brand there, so there is being squeezed. Okay, yes?
Largest customer of government and military?
Oh yeah, the largest customers. What happened? What government policy? What is the government policy? Anti-corruption, right? Anti-corruption. So it is said 50% of the baijiu was consumed by the Chinese military. So Jim is inheriting, he's coming in, well, Diageo bought a company, and then when they bought a company, they opened the book, they found this, holy, what do we bought these things? Right? So this is the situation they're facing, right? And
The Antai Global Summer Program chooses its components carefully, and our faculty similarly, so that you get not just a great business education experience in China, but also a richer understanding of Chinese culture and society in the 21st century. This is possible because of the great resources of the Antai College, one of China's top business schools.